If you're an established service and trades business owner and everything still runs through you, the decisions, the problems, daily fires, this is for you. You've built something real, you have a team, you're generating revenue, but here's the problem. The business can't move without you. You're constantly interrupted. Your team brings you every question. Nothing seems to happen unless you're involved in the growth. It's made things harder, not necessarily easier. So if that sounds familiar, stay with me because over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening and what needs to change so your business can finally run really without you being in the middle of everything. So before I explain how this works, let me show you that it does work. I've worked with Doug. Doug owned a landscaping company, grown from basic lawn service into multiple lines of services. The business was busy, it was profitable, but everything came back to him. He couldn't step away, and growth actually created more stress instead of freedom. So through coaching, we helped him see where he was still the bottleneck and put some real structure in place and shift the responsibility to his team. The result, the business became more organized. The owner stepped out of the daily firefighting, and the company finally was able to expand into new services without depending on him for everything. So here's another example. Diane, who owned a local insurance agency it was a family business. And she was really frustrated because her team wasn't taking ownership. The same issues kept repeating itself over and over. She was really handling the things that she shouldn't be handling anymore. But we then sat down, we began to help Diane understand why her team wasn't stepping up. We, let's say, defined clearer expectations. We changed how leadership worked inside the business. The team became more self-sufficient and communication improved. And Diane finally felt confident the business could run without her constant involvement. So I've seen this with construction owners stuck in working long hours with no clear structure, pool service companies overwhelmed by growth, with various professional service owners, CPAs who really felt busy, but their business just stalled. And the pattern is always the same. The owner stops being the person everything runs through. The team steps up, interruptions decrease, and the business becomes easier to run and not harder. How does that sound? Well, my name is Steve Gorns, and I've been coaching service and trade business owners for over 20 years. I hold an MBA, and I've worked directly with hundreds of service-based businesses and trades businesses for over the years. They're just like you. And before coaching, I spent years in sales, advertising, marketing, and marketing research. I understand how business operates, not just in theory, but in actual practice. But here's what matters most. I've seen your exact situation before, the constant interruptions, the teams that won't take responsibility, the growth that creates chaos instead of relief. And I know why it's happening, and I know how to fix it. This isn't about motivation or quick fixes. It's about structure. It's about the structure really that most business owners have never been taught. So let me guess what's really happening in your business. Tell me if this is right. Everything runs through you, the decisions, problems, approvals, questions, they all come back to you. Even though you have a team, you're still the bottleneck. The business can't move without you being involved. You're constantly interrupted, you're overwhelmed, your days are more reactive, you don't have time to think, plan, or lead, and growth has made the problem worse instead of better. Your team isn't stepping up, maybe the way they should or the way you'd like. You're tired of repeating yourself, following up on everything, and fixing the same issues over and over again. That's frustrating, isn't it? And most importantly, you really want to understand why your team isn't doing what you ask and how to change it without having to deal with micromanaging every single thing that they do. The business just feels stuck. You're busy, but progress is stalled. More effort isn't producing better results. And something structural is missing, but you can't even clearly identify what it is. And here's the big one. You want control of your time and your future back. You want to know that the business can run without you constantly being there, whether it means taking time off, reducing stress, growing intentionally, or even preparing the business to be more profitable and one day sellable. So if this all sounds like your business, you are not alone. And it's not because you are doing anything wrong. It's because no one ever taught you how to build structure in your business. And here's what I want to offer you: a free 2-week coaching experience focusing on getting your business back. There's no cost, there's no obligation, just a structured process to help you uncover your business and why it still depends on you and what needs to change first. And then this is what you're going to get. First, it's going to start with a simple discovery call. We're going to walk through what's happening in your business, where you're getting pulled into the day to day, and whether this full experience is a good fit for you. And then if you decide that it is, you're going to complete a business and leadership review. And we're going to identify where the structure is missing, where you're the bottleneck, why your team isn't stepping up the way it should. And then finally, then we're going to have a strategy and a clarity session. This is really to help you gain insight, real insight into what's actually causing the constant interruptions, the stalled growth, owner dependency. And at the end, you're going to walk away knowing that you have 3 things that you could change that would reduce your involvement and create more control, clarity, and stability in your business. Now, this isn't about full implementation about these strategies. It's not ongoing coaching. It's not nothing is being done for you. The purpose here is clarity, diagnosis, and direction. So then this way, you can see what's really holding you back before you decide on any next steps that you need to take. But at the end of the 2 weeks, if it makes sense, I'm going to invite you into one of our ongoing coaching programs. And yes, it is a paid service, and we're going to discuss pricing only after the experience is complete and only if we both agree that it's a good fit for both of us. There's no pressure, there's no obligation, just clarity. I know what you might be thinking. I don't have time for this right now. I get it, You're already maxed out, and that's why you're listening. But the truth is, you don't have the time because your business depends on you for everything. This experience isn't another demand on your time. It's really the process that gives you your time back. We help you remove those interruptions, build the structure, and develop people so you no longer have to be the bottleneck. And maybe you're thinking, hey, I've tried coaching or consulting before, it didn't work. I hear that a lot. The difference here is that we don't just give you ideas and you end up with a book of things you have to do that ends up on your shelf. We'll help you install structure, systems, accountability inside your business. Progress is driven by implementation, not inspiration. This isn't advice you file away, it's structure you put in place. And you might be worried about the cost of ongoing coaching. Look, I understand, I get it. But think about what the real cost of staying owner dependent, missed opportunities, burnout, stalled growth, a business that isn't sellable. This isn't an expense, it's an investment in building a more profitable, stable, and a valuable business that you can sell one day. Maybe you think your business is maybe unique and that the problems are caused by just your team or your specific industry. I get it, every business is different. But I've seen the same things really happen in the same patterns over and over again across hundreds of different businesses and multiple different industries. The issues are rarely about effort or people. They're about structure, systems, and leadership. And when those things are addressed, the results follow. So some of you might be thinking, hey, it sounds good, Steve, but I'm just maybe not ready. I have to do some of the other things first. Well, that usually means you're either overwhelmed or unsure where to start. And that's exactly why we slow things down. We create clarity first, focus on priorities, and then this process really begins with understanding what's actually holding the business back and not committing to anything prematurely. And finally, you might be worried about losing control or being told what to do. Let me be clear. Coaching is a partnership. You stay in control of your business. My role as your coach is to guide, challenge, and support you to make better decisions and build the right structure that works for you. So this offer is not for everybody, and that's really intentional because this offer is for established business owners with real operations, real teams, and real responsibilities. Typically you're going to have between 5 and 60 employees, and you're generating some meaningful revenue. This is for business owners who are tired of being the bottleneck and are ready to do the work required to build a business that no longer depends entirely on them. This is not for startups, so side hustles. It's not for people looking for quick wins, hacks, or done for you solutions. And it's not for owners who want someone else to fix their business for them without their involvement. Also, it's not really a good fit for business owners who are unwilling to change how they lead, manage, or operate. If you're not prepared to test new approaches, make mistakes, and learn through execution, you will not get the full value of this process. So, in short, this is for serious business owners who are tired of being stuck in the middle and are ready to step up, take action, and build something that lasts. So if this sounds like your business and you're tired of everything really coming back to you, here's what to do next. Go ahead, click on the link below, schedule a discovery call. This call is your first step into your free 2-week coaching experience. We'll walk you through what's really happening in your business, why your team isn't stepping up in the way they should, and what really needs to change so you're not stuck in the middle anymore. And if it makes sense to move forward, we'll outline the next step. And if it doesn't, you'll still leave with some clarity. But here's the thing. There's only a limited number of businesses that can go through this experience each month. This isn't really a mass program. It's each participant receives live conversations with me, business review, individual guidance. But once every available slot is filled for the month, new applicants are just pushed off into the next available opening. If you're interested, don't wait. Click on the link, schedule your discovery call now, and discover the power of coaching. Your business doesn't have to depend on you for everything, and let me show you how to fix it.